Hello, everyone, and thank you once more for attending to this session, to this Higg FEM 2024 updates. And today we will cover the section 8, Chemical Management. For the ones that do not know me, my name is Sandra Teixeira, and I have a chemical engineering degree. And also a master's degree in energy engineering. I count with more than 24 years in experience in textile industry, which 11 of those years was spent in the wet process. Also, I have conducted quality assurance and developing of new products and management at a Portuguese retail brand, and worked also as chemical sales engineer. And the past years, I've been involved in performing environmental audits in several European countries, including energy assessments, water assessments, and chemical risk assessments. Today, and in order to ensure the best audio quality, the audience will be muted, but please feel free to address your questions throughout the Q&A function that you will see here at the bottom, and ask your questions that at the very end of this presentation, we will have a dedicated space for these answers. Also, following up this session, we will send you a link with an email with a link for downloading this video record, as well the presentation in PDF format. Please also note that these materials are copyrighted by Cascale and Leadership and Sustainability, so please do not share them outside your organization. For the agenda today, we have, as usual, the welcome and the LES introduction to FEM 4.0, and then we will dive into section 8, chemical management, some added value and implementing the Higg FEM about leadership and sustainability, and then we will have the question and discussion as usual. And here, having this overlook of the 2024 Higg FEM cadence cycle, as a reminder, you know that you can purchase your modules from November 2024 until October 2025, and the assessment can be done since November 2024 until December 2025. The posting of your self-assessment is also done since January until December 2025, and the verification can be also done since January 2025 until December 2025. So going into the changes of the FEM 4.0 and 2023-2024 cadence, and into the chemical management section 8. And here we can see again the overlook or the overview of the FEM sections, and we have covered until the moment the site info and permits, the environmental management system, energy and greenhouse gas emissions, the water use, the wastewater, the air emissions, the waste, and today we will cover the last section that is chemical management. I just have here yeah, just a moment. I was just checking. As introduction for the chemical management, we have here. Sorry, I guess I have jumped a few slides now. As introduction for the chemical management, we have the level distribution questions as usual. Those are distributed through level 1, level 2, and level 3. And the questions that you see here highlighted in bold were new adds in 2023 cadence. As introduction for the chemical management, The use of chemicals in the facility production process and operation can pose significant risk to environment, human health, if not managed in a systematic and responsible way. So by proactively managing and striving to eliminate and reduce the hazard chemicals, you can reduce impacts on the environment, exposed to regulatory risks or new requirements from business partners, and contribute to a more sustainable future. The chemical management section encourages to establish an effective chemical management system with appropriate policies, procedures, and commitments to drive continuous improvements. Also, to understand all chemicals used in the facility for production and operations throughout a good chemical inventory practices. Also, to establish responsible chemicals purchasing practices that focus on the reduction of hazard chemicals use. And to ensure staff are appropriately trained and qualified to work with and manage the chemicals in your workplace. Ensure the proper facilities and protections are in place for safe chemical storage and end-of use. And also to establish for chemical products traceability, quality, and integrity. Also, you should establish procedures to promote responsible chemicals use in the supply and contractor facilities, align with the industry leading practices for chemical management, the reduction of hazard chemicals, and the process innovation. A summary of the new questions or the rephrased questions, we have the chemical management system policies, that you should have written policies and purchasing criteria, the CMS responsibility and competence, assigned staff and required competencies, and restricted substance list and manufacturing restricted substance list compliance, so hazard-based selection and employee training, MRSL questions that are not applicable to the facilities that are solely manufacturing hard goods. And the collaboration and transparency, so industry programs and stakeholders engagement. As example for question 1, level 1, we have CMS assigned staff. Have you assigned the responsibility of implementing and maintaining the chemical management system to a team staff member? And these teams should have competencies in CMS team, and you should select which one are applicable to you, ability to read and interpret the safety data sheets, competency in the RSL, competency in the MRSL, knowledge of the global harmonized system of classification and handling international regulations on chemical restrictions. And the suggested uploads for these questions are the list of the staff for implementing and maintaining the CMS and their responsibilities, and the documented job description. Procedures, CMS procedures that include responsibilities of the staff related to CMS implementation, if applicable, documentation that demonstrates that the competencies of staff assigned to implement the CMS, and certification, training records, curriculum vitae. These are the documentation that you should collect in order to support your answers. The chemical purchasing policy. Does your facility have chemical purchasing policy? And which of the following criteria are being included into consideration in your chemical purchasing policy, and select all that are applicable to you: legal requirements, health and safety requirements, the RSL and MRSL requirements. Also, as suggested uploads, you should have a copy of the facility's chemical purchasing policy. And for the question 17, RSL and MRSL employee training, Does your facility train employees responsible for chemical management system on manufacturing restricted substance list, MRSLs? So here you should describe the MRSL training conducted in your reporting here. Also, how many employees were trained and how frequently are the employees training? And how do you evaluate your employees after this training? As uploads that are suggested, you should have documentation that demonstrates the facility has conducted training on MRSL for relevant employees, like MRSL training records, the training materials, or the post-training evaluation records. You should keep all this information in order to support your answers in the platform. Also documented job description of the staff responsible for the MRSL management and compliance. Question 19, does your facility engage contractors or subcontractors on MRSL or RSL? So here you should have also documentation showing that the facility engaged with contractors or subcontractors on MRSL or RSL. As example, contracts of MRSL, RSL engagement and requirements, the records of MRSL or RSL communications that you may have with your contractors or subcontractors, the assessment audit reports and involvement plans for contractors or subcontractors engagement, records of Higg FEM completion and sharing, and level 2 question 21, does your facility have the following capabilities and authority in your chemical management system team? And suggested uploads is the documentation that shows the CMS team has demonstrable knowledge of chemical products, production process, and applications, like proof of tertiary education, certification or accreditation, training records, or certificates. Also, management system documentation that demonstrates CMS team members have the necessary authorization to manage the CMS effectively, policies and procedures. Going into level 3 and ZDHC roadmap to zero. And have you adopt and implement the ZDHC roadmap to zero or the supply to zero program on sustainable chemical management and these impact areas of other chemical management related industry programs? And as suggested uploads, you should have the documentation demonstrating facility has adopted and is implementing the selected programs. Also, the company policies, procedures showing commitment to align with the program requirements, adoption, use of program MRSL or positive lists. Question 25, and also ZDHC roadmap to zero program. ZDHC manufactured the restricted substance list, MRSL, and in-check solutions, ZDHC wastewater guidelines for leather and textile, and clear stream reports. Also, ZDHC management system, framework and technical industry guide, and supply to zero certificate. ZDHC man-made cellulosic fibers certificate, or ZDHC MMFC guidelines, and ZDHC air emissions guidelines. ZDHC wastewater guidelines, or other that you should specify. Question 26, collaboration and transparency. Do you have a transparency policy or procedure in which you share your information regarding chemical products, chemical waste and wastewater with stakeholders, with ZDHC, chemical formulators, brands, retailers, authorities, or NGOs? And the suggested uploads for this question are the copy of the facility's transparency policy, examples of documentation, communications with the stakeholders, email, reports, submittal, etc. And these were the questions that we have prepared for the chemical management system for today. Going into adding value and implementing the Higg FEM. So once again, here you can see leadership and sustainability team map, where we are having our local experts based. Also here you can see in more detail the number of local experts and the countries and the distribution of these experts. And we like to highlight also our e-learning platform, where several courses are available for your self-path learning. Please take a look. You may find something that may interest you. As well, we are having the full Higg FEM detail there that will allow you to have at the end the certificate. And our collaborative service with ZDHC as leadership and sustainability is the chemical inventory service verification, like the in-check verification, as well our partnership with CleanChain, that is an approved solution provider for in-check generation. And the benefits of generating your in-check reports with CleanChain, you will have the chemical inventory management. Suppliers can upload and maintain their chemical inventories with the CleanChain and ensure the up-to-date records. As well, the integration with ZDHC Gateway. CleanChain connects with ZDHC Gateway, allowing for seamless access to ZDHC chemical module and the extensive product library. And the performance and monitoring. So CleanChain offers tools to track chemical usage, safety data sheets, and also monitor overall chemical compliance throughout the dashboards and the scorecards. Also, ZDHC and leadership current services, ZDHC trainings, in-check verifications, and ZDHC supplier to 0, level 2 and level 3 verifications. Here you can see our experts for ZDHC and where they are based. And please note that these verifiers are authorized to perform verifications worldwide according to the customer requirements. Our team, where you can find our contacts, you can also take a look at our website. There are several news, several available webinars in other topics that could interest you. Please go through there, and also our email and contact emails and phone numbers.